Thank you. All right. No, I'm not planning on leaving. I'm just cold. And our next performer to the mic is Ryan Kinney.
Put this thing slightly closer to leprechaun height. Hi, I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, I also run a writing group called Beautiful Blasphemy. We make free little books like this, and there's a whole pile of them back there. Feel free to steal whatever you want.
Free stuff.
Yay, stuff!
Free shit.
And I also like to thank them, because I never did publicly. They also donated a bunch of books to our Words to the Wise program, where we gave a bunch of local writers books to libraries in Northeast Ohio. We wound up with over 150 books, which is why we started making books for poets, because holy shit, guys. Alright, this is called The Moment. The Japanese girl sits quietly on the pier, gazing out over the water. Her silence and knowing glance says more than either of our languages could ever comprehend. She's beautiful in her hopelessness, and I, dumbstruck in all of a peace I will never know. She sits behind me squawking with an adolescent banter that must seem dire. Her intensity of voice speaks the same thing I have secretly wished for years but been too afraid to say. Please, pay attention to me. Speak I did for the very first time. This awkward message of youthful adoration is not exactly communicated articulately. Her only response is, God, I hate you. Please shut up. If I am already taking risks with my life, then I will not be silenced. For once, I will not back down. You love me. You just don't know it yet. We are inexplicably sat on the very edge of the river, the smell of Texas barbecue intensifying our hunger. Half of our small group is exhausted proving their technical prowess, while I declare that this most manly of feasts must be a competition to prove our testosterone. Why simply dine in San Antonio when you can challenge your friends to a banquet of sauce-laden meats? I declare that he who finishes last or least must surrender his manhood. The balls are on the table tonight. I awoke early this morning and slipped quietly out of my bunk. My compatriots were still sleeping off a hangover. I push open the door hundreds of years my senior and witness the burgundy sunset of French wine country. Just think, right now, I could be mindlessly staring at rolling machinery. I place another valve on the pump and hypnotically tighten it down. The sound has become a meditation now. The zen is broken when my radio squeals. The producer has just jumped on the air. The World Trade Center is on fire. I place my wrench slowly down on the table, confused. We all do. We all are. In a half hour, we'll be all sitting around a table, listening to Howard Stern speculate on a horror. We are blinded to the true terror, what this really means, until hours later. Snow continues to flood my windshield as I wind precariously around the bespeckled Alleghenies. The city below, shrouded in the early winter light, looks as though the heavens have finally released the weight of the stars to the ground. As I marvel at this, a twinge of fear arises. I may not find shelter tonight. Nonetheless, the road levels out and an exit is offered to salvation. In the midst of planned itineraries, sightseeing, and tourist attractions, I had lost track of time. I am resigned to sleep the night in a Walmart parking lot. When I pull off the exit, however, I am pleased to see the welcoming glow of a mall. There, I discovered an establishment long since lost to the ether of my youth. As I sit there, eating the 10,000-calorie hot dog, I ponder. This is what life was like when it was simpler, when I thought I knew what it was all about. Before, I was proven horribly wrong. In the midst of the audacious and elaborate splendor of Florence, I see a sight so simple, and yet so much more a monument to man's unfathomable capacity for love and compassion. A rose, brown and dead, is stuck in a chain-link fence. Attached to it is a small handwritten note that reads, "Kiss her now." I am in her arms, having been told no, and resigned to rejection so many times. So many times I have told myself this would never happen. As my lips touch hers, I laugh inside my head. Is this really happening? This is really happening. I hold my breath. I can see him through the window, as I have seen him through the electronic window of my TV for years. As I get closer, this feels less and less real. This is my hero, my God. He has accomplished amazing things and pushed the limits of the human body. Suddenly, I am in front of him. He looks up and smiles as he says hello. All the nervousness, the anxiety disappears. when I realized that my God is a man like me. I am terrified. Before me is a discolored, screaming, clawing, misshapen alien creature. My son takes his first breaths of real air. We are all exhausted. His mother looks at me with a look that practically screams, "We did it." I plead, "But we're not done doing it yet, are we?" His gurgles turn into cries, and I know that this is the moment that matters more than any in my life. I will never have a single instant matter any more than this ever will. And while I stare into his bed, I hope he proves me wrong. Yeah, it was kind of hard to figure out where the end of that is, huh? Every stanza is another ending. All that's real, by the way. Every single bit of that is something that's actually happened. All right, I got a shorter one for you, and it's my only attempt ever at anything lyrical. This was inspired by Mama Oladeji, or Vicky Aqua. Some of you might know her in Cleveland. This is "Save Us From Ourselves." God save the Queen, long live the King, hail to the Chief, the Lord of all lies. I dredge the swamp for the bombs bursting in air. Oh, say can you see that justice is blind, that we are all colorblind, when all you can see is the white-hot dawn's early light, that night means right, always fight with the sun at your back, and the darkness in your soul, but don't be black. That's worth the bullets whizzing past. A soldier's job is never done, never won. A draft dodger's never won with the multiplicity of our multi-ethnicity of a nation of fools that elects a derelict jester who taunts our puppet strings, strike the chords of the lamentations of our hearts, heartless bastards. We are no longer whole, just a sinking hole, a pit of despair that looks back at us. Look up, look down, stay down, lock down, look out. Here it comes, as above, so below. The devil's in the details that are reduced to black and whites. We are weapons of mass confusion, taking aim, hiding behind his wall, to build a nation of prisoners, too afraid to yell out our battle calls, to seek retribution for our disillusion, to clear up the noise pollution and fall on our knees, to take a knee, because we need. We are a world of truth benders, rule breakers, criminal instigators, unforeseen fornicators, ego masturbators, serial verbal defecators. We are nothing, no one, nowhere, just present, at this moment in history when we realize we fucked up. Hindsight was blindsided, blinded by the light, speckled with red, white, and bruises, masks of shame, that we were complicit in our own downfall, the fall of man. The blood is on our hands, because we did not stop when we knew we could, because we thought no meant yes, and that she didn't really mean it, and boys will be boys with their unruly lethal toys that cuts through what was right and left us divided.
Wow.
That's all I got for you today. Have free books.
Thank you, Ryan. Give it up for free stuff and for Ryan. We should also definitely thank the Outpost for having us here, because they've been awesome, and definitely make sure that